You wake up before the sun. Your stomach turns before your feet hit the floor. You reach for a cracker because someone told you crackers help. But what's actually happening is far stranger than anything a cracker can fix. For decades, you were told this was simple. Hormones surge. Your stomach reacts. It passes by week 12, and that's the whole story. Except that story is starting to fall apart. Here's what nobody told you. Morning sickness isn't really about mornings. It isn't really about sickness either. It's about a signal. A signal so old, so deeply wired into your biology, that scientists only recently found where it comes from. Let's start with the hormone you've probably heard of. HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. It's the hormone that shows up on a pregnancy test, and for years, doctors blamed it for your nausea. More HCG, more sickness, the thinking went. Simple. But there's a problem. Some women have sky-high HCG and feel almost nothing. Others have completely normal levels and can't keep water down. If HCG were the whole answer, that shouldn't happen. So researchers kept looking. In 2023, a geneticist named Marlena Fazo published findings that changed the conversation. She and her team identified a different molecule as the real driver. It's called GDF15, growth differentiation factor 15. Think of it as a stress hormone, one your placenta starts producing early in pregnancy. Here's the twist. GDF15 doesn't just appear during pregnancy. Your body makes small amounts of it your entire life, especially when cells are damaged or under stress. Your brain has receptors built specifically to detect it. When those receptors fire, they trigger nausea and appetite loss, the same way they might if you'd eaten something toxic. So why would your body treat a healthy pregnancy like poisoning? Fazo's research found something remarkable. Women who had naturally low GDF15 levels before pregnancy were more likely to develop severe nausea once levels spiked. Their bodies weren't used to the signal. It hit like an alarm going off in a room that had never heard a siren before. Meanwhile, women with a rare genetic condition that keeps GDF15 chronically elevated barely felt sick at all. Their systems had already adapted to the noise. This flips the old story on its head. Morning sickness isn't a flaw in your body's design. It's a mismatch between a warning system and how loud that warning gets. All at once, almost overnight. But why would evolution build a warning system like this in the first place? This is where an older, more provocative theory comes in. Back in 1992, a researcher named Margie Prophet proposed something controversial. She argued that nausea in early pregnancy exists to protect the embryo. Her idea, known as the embryo protection hypothesis, suggested that heightened sensitivity to smell and taste during the first trimester pushes you away from foods that historically carried toxins or pathogens. Bitter vegetables, strong-smelling meat, alcohol. Here's the part that should stop you. The first trimester is exactly when an embryo's organs are forming. It's the most vulnerable window of the entire pregnancy. If your body is going to filter out anything even slightly risky, this is precisely the moment it would choose to do it. Later, researchers pushed back on parts of Prophet's theory, but the core idea held up surprisingly well. Studies since then have shown that women who experience more nausea in early pregnancy tend to have lower rates of miscarriage, not because the sickness causes safety, because both are downstream of the same protective signal working as intended. Does that mean nausea is something to welcome? Not exactly. And this is where the story gets serious. For some women, this signal doesn't just whisper, it screams. A severe form called hyperemesis gravidarum causes relentless vomiting, dangerous weight loss, and dehydration that can require hospitalization. Researcher Gideon Coren, who spent years studying nausea in pregnancy through Toronto's Mother Risk program, helped establish that this isn't just morning sickness taken too far. It's a distinct medical condition, driven by that same G-F15 pathway running at an extreme. Faizo knows this firsthand. She experienced hyperemesis gravidarum herself, so severe that she lost the pregnancy. That personal experience is part of what pushed her toward finding G-F15 in the first place. A scientist chasing an answer her own body demanded. If you're feeling roughly the same nausea people describe, that soft reminder still matters. This is general education, not a diagnosis. If nausea keeps you from keeping food or fluids down, if you're losing weight, or if something feels wrong, that's a conversation for your doctor or midwife, not a search engine. So what do you do with all of this lying on the bathroom floor at 6 a.m? Maybe nothing changes about how it feels. Nausea is still nausea, but something shifts in how you understand it. This isn't your body malfunctioning. It's your body running one of the oldest protective programs it owns, dialed up to a volume it rarely has to reach. Think about how strange that is. Somewhere inside you, a placenta the size of a coin is producing a molecule that travels to your brainstem and tells it gently or violently, depending on your biology, to be careful, to be cautious, to protect something it hasn't even met yet. And maybe that's the real reframe here. You've spent your whole life reacting to warning signs, a smoke alarm, a car horn, a gut feeling that something's off. This is no different. It's just the oldest alarm system you have doing exactly what it was built to do at exactly the moment it matters most. You wake up before the sun. Your stomach turns before your feet hit the floor. But this time, you know what's actually happening, and it isn't a flaw. It's protection, running at full volume for someone who hasn't even opened their eyes yet.